with the Maxim gun were hemmed in. Makageni and soldiers is there. That's deployment by China. They are here. The river is there. As if the gods were on the side of the king. And then they crossed. He crossed with a lot of soldiers. On the other side, the northern bank deployed some more Ihlati, elements from Ihlati, and also elements from Ingubo. He said, remain there. So what effectively that meant was these people were hemmed in together with their the gun, which was an important gun which had won the 1893 war on the 1st of December. So these fellows couldn't move. The water wouldn't allow it. The soldiers were also there, wouldn't allow it. Mtane proceeded. The king's weapon was left there where we are going. It was there. And then his horse, which was a white horse, was also left there, which was part of a military decoy by the Ndebele. They used the decoy strategy very effective. Now the pursuers at night saw that, came out, hey, Puma, we don't want to kill you. So they thought the king was there. The king was not. But when they saw his horse and saw his weapon, they thought he was there. That's a military genius. But he had actually proceeded to Mtwiri. There is a tree there called Mtwiri, lead tree, Eskiwa. He was there. That's where he was having breakfast when the war started. So it was so dark and it was raining throughout. As I said, it seemed the gods were on the side of King Bermuda. So very early in the morning, the war started. And there were lots of Ndebele now. Mtane had beefed up those that were already there and operating under Magwegwe Fiat. They were moving in waves, attacking. Some with guns, others with spears. And those men were only 34. They still had the rifles. The people across could hear the sound. You know, those who are used to guns will know that is the sound of an AK. That is the sound of this particular military instrument. They will know that. So it went on and on. Men in Ndebele were dying there, but they also had killed the horses to a point where some were wounded, others were still firing, were now firing behind the horses. But the commander was still standing on high ground. That's Major Allan Eilson. He was there, still firing, and the people across, because those are the only people who could tell what was happening. There was no white witness to the battle. That's what we should know. So all white sources depend on speculation. They don't know what happened. What they do know is what they were told by people like Ngangenyoni, Mhlope, Mtane, Kumalo, and others. No white witness. The first white person to get there was one James Dawson, and sort of buried the whites there. I'm not sure who buried the blacks. They were running into hundreds, but we are told there are mass graves there. Then he cut a tree, or rather didn't cut a tree. He wrote on a tree through engraving and wrote, "To brave men." That trunk now is at the museum. Then Cecil John Rhodes said, take these, the corpses to Great Zimbabwe, the Great Enclosure. That's where they went from here. And he changed his mind yet again and said, let them go to the Allan Eilson Memorial, which is on Malindanzimu, not Malindizimu, as some people will want to tell you. It's a Kalanga word, Malinda, Marinda in Shona, it's the same meaning. It's ancestral spirits, Malinda Nzimu. So that's where they are today, that big Allan Eilson. But since then, other than that small obelisk, there was nothing. So this, to me, is a milestone. But for me, it's not the end. It's the beginning of an exercise where we hope the names of the fallen will be brought here, and then there will be a roll of honor for those people. More importantly, it is the beginning of a journey to trace the footsteps of the king, because he didn't die here, nor did he die anywhere within Zimbabwe. He crossed, and we are going to pursue his footsteps until we get to where he lies today, as bones. Certainly he lies somewhere. That we do know. And tomorrow a party is leaving this place, Zimbabwe, to go to where he lies. We are not giving more detail at this stage, but there are people who will be going there to do some rituals, ultimately to bring back the spirit of the king. They didn't kill him. He was never captured by the whites. Okay, Matuta, that's the story.